Today, I want to share a really powerful, true story with you. It's about hope, family, and a pretty incredible path to healing from severe depression. It really is a story about a father's unconditional love and a totally unconventional idea that brought about a miracle. And this story, it starts at a really dark place. These are the words of Lin and Hui. See, she was a gifted student with Asperger's, but she was fighting a battle with depression so severe that it forced her out of school and straight into the hospital. So you have to wonder, right? What could possibly turn a situation that desperate around? I mean, what gave her the strength to find her way back to life? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore. The answer didn't start with a new medication or a new therapy. It started with an absolutely extraordinary promise from her father. I mean, just look at this. This slide really lays it all out. On one side, you have the challenge. A young woman with Asperger's in the hospital for severe depression, taking 21 pills a day. And on the other side, the promise. Her father, Pastor Lin decides to do something radical. He's going to re-enroll in university and become her classmate, to be with her every single day. And to really get the weight of this, you need to know that Inhui was a brilliant student, She was in a special program for science and math. Her depression didn't just take away her happiness, it took away her dream of becoming a doctor. All that potential was just stuck behind this wall of illness. But, to understand a promise like that, you've got to understand the man who made it. Pastor Lin's own life was a journey of huge transformation, and that's what gave him the strength for this path. His story is fascinating. He didn't grow up in a church. He was actually born into a very traditional family as a devout Zen Buddhist. But then, around 1988, he had this severe hand injury, landed in the hospital, and met some Christian evangelists. He was so moved by their support that he got baptized. Now, that decision caused a lot of friction. He even faced persecution from his own family. But he held on and eventually went to seminary to become a pastor. And his background just shows you what kind of character he has. This wasn't just any guy. In his youth, he was an elite Marine Corps frogman. I mean, that's some of the toughest military training on the planet. The same grit that got him through that, and through his crisis of faith, he now brings to his role as a pastor in the small mountain town of Pingxi. So, with this incredibly determined and faithful father right by her side, Enhui started a whole new chapter. And it was in the most unlikely place, a university classroom, where the real healing started to happen. So how'd it work? Well, first, Enhui, who was always kind of into screenwriting, chose a totally new setting, the Department of Performing Arts at Hangwu University. Second, the classes themselves were like therapy. They were physical, expressive, social. Third, she got this amazing support from her teachers and classmates. And finally, there was the constant, steady presence of her dad, learning right there with her. And we're not talking about boring lectures here. They were playing improv games like Killer, doing aerobic boxing, and even ballroom dancing. For someone who struggled with normal communication, these activities gave her a whole new language, a way to connect and express herself through movement, helping her build confidence without all the pressure. And the change was so dramatic, it just blew her peers away. One of her classmates, Zhan Yachen, said they were worried at first, but then they were just amazed at how Enhui dove into everything. She said you couldn't even tell she had Asperger's. She was just another student, totally passionate and dedicated. All of this, the joy, the support, the creative outlet, it all led to a result that you might just call a miracle. This is really the peak of their journey. The results were, well, they were just jaw-dropping. Take a look at this chart. Before they started this, Lin Enhui was taking 21 different pills every single day. After just over a year of this unique classroom therapy with her dad, that number dropped to just 2. That is a 90% reduction in her daily medication. It's just an incredible testament to the power of a safe environment, finding your purpose, and of course, a father's relentless love. And look, this wasn't just about the numbers. This meant no more trips to the hospital. It meant she went from refusing to even go to school to hating it when the holidays came because she couldn't wait to get back to class. She truly found the joy in learning again. This incredible personal story really has a powerful message for any family out there that's dealing with the challenges of mental health. So, what can we all take away from this? Well, first, that unconditional love, it creates a safe space where healing can actually happen. Second, sometimes you need creative solutions. The performing arts class opened up paths that traditional methods couldn't. And finally, faith and perseverance, they give you the endurance you need for what's often a really, really long road. Pastor Lin summed up his whole philosophy so beautifully. He says life is like walking a tightrope. It's so easy to fall. But for him, his faith is this source of grace and strength that's always, always enough to get him and his family through. And that really leaves us with a final thought. For Pastor Lin, the answer was his faith and his love. And it makes you wonder, for all of us, when we're the ones who have to support someone we love through their darkest times, where can we find our own source of strength that never, ever runs out?